Whether you're single, a couple, or a family of 8, one of the best ways to see America is from an RV. Whether you like to camp beside a bubbling brook with no one else in sight, or whether you'd prefer to be at a resort with all of the amenities, including pools and shuffleboard and game nights and karaoke, you can do all those things while you're traveling in your RV. To help you get started right, and so you don't make some of the mistakes that I made, I'd like to give you the 6 top tips for renting an RV and having a great vacation. RV rental tip number 1. Look for local or independent rental options before you decide where to get your RV. Just about everybody's seen one of Cruise America's RVs going down the highway. They are the biggest RV rental company in the United States by far, and they have a good, solid product. They're very experienced at working with people who don't know how to run an RV to have a good vacation. And you can't go wrong by renting from Cruise America. But there are a lot of other companies too that have different kinds of RVs with different amenities and maybe a substantially lower price. You should look into El Monte RV. You should look into Road Bear RV. You should look into RVShare. RVShare is actually private RV owners who are looking to rent their RV out to vacationers so that you can take a vacation in their fully equipped RV and they can make a little money while they're at work and you're at play. And don't forget to look for local dealers. For instance, if you did a search for RV Rentals New Jersey, which is where I happen to be right now, you would find, among others, 84 RV. And we happen to know that they're a really great place to get your RV rental. But there are all kinds of local dealers, and wherever you are in the country, just Google RV rental and then add the name of the city where you'd like to start your vacation, and you will get a list of local dealers that might even be local sellers of RVs that keep 1 or 2 on their lot for demonstration purposes and that would be happy to rent one to you. Make sure you have the opportunity to get the best RV bang for your buck, and check out independent and local rental options in addition to the nationwide big boys. The second tip, and this may come as a surprise to you, but I would suggest that you rent the smallest RV that will meet your needs. RVs come in every size from a van up to a 45-foot giant. And you might be tempted to get a big RV because it has all of the extra amenities in it. But there's some good reasons to rent a smaller RV if you can do so. First of all, it's easier to drive. Unless you know how to drive a truck, then a smaller RV is going to take much less adjustment on your part until you're feeling safe and confident traveling down the road. The nice thing about smaller RVs is that they're easier to set up, easier to take down, and when you get into town, when you get to the site that you want to visit, they are much easier to park. I've even parked RVs on the parallel parking in the city at a meter. But what are you going to do if it's 35 feet long? How are you going to get that into the parking lot? A smaller RV gives you much greater versatility about where you go, where you camp, and seeing all the sights that you want to see while you're out there. Tip number 3. When you go to pick up your RV, whether it's from a big chain or a local dealer or even a private individual, one of the things that they're going to want to do before they let you drive away in their $250,000 vehicle is give you a tour of all of the functions of the RV, how everything works, where everything is. Now, if you've never gone RVing before, there's a lot to learn in a very short period of time. And of course you want to ask questions. But I suggest that you also use your phone or a video camera and videotape their entire orientation tour of the RV. That way, when it gets to be the next night and you want to level the RV and you don't quite remember what you have to do in what order, you don't have to make a phone call to somebody and hope that you get an answer. Just go to your video and listen to the part where they explained to you how to do it, how to start the generator, how to empty the septic systems, all of those different kinds of things. And there's a second bonus to videotaping that orientation tour. It gives you a clear record of what damages do or do not exist on the RV before you take it out of the lot. So if there's any dispute, whether you caused damage or whether it was already there, you can just bring out your camera and show them that it wasn't you. Well, I hope it wasn't you. Tip number 4. This is a simple one, but a great tip is to cook some of your favorite meals in advance and freeze them so that you can reheat them while you're traveling down the road. RV kitchens are versatile, but they're very, very small. And sometimes it can be hard to figure out how to make all of the appliances work for you. And RV refrigerators tend to be pretty small also. What I like to do is cook some ribs, for instance, on my barbecue at home, cut them into portions, and then freeze them. I can put them in the RV refrigerator as soon as we begin our vacation, where they will thaw over the next day or 2 or 3, and then I can very easily reheat them or even heat them up and finish them on the grill while we're out camping, instead of having to waste so much of my time trying to do all of those things in an unfamiliar kitchen that is very, very small. You did. One of the great advantages of RVing is that you don't have to go out to restaurants every night. You can eat in your rolling hotel. Give it a shot. Tip number 5. Before you leave for your trip, one of the things you're going to want to do is choose some campgrounds that you might stay at along the way. When you go to campground websites, they all have beautiful pictures of their large, level, spacious parking places. They all have pictures of trees and babbling brooks and children playing happily. The thing is that those pictures can be very, very carefully cropped so that they don't show you the parts of the campground that you really wouldn't want to see and you might not want to camp there. One of the things we like to do before going on a trip or before choosing to go to a particular campground is to open Google Maps and get a satellite view of the campground. You can zoom right in, and that's when you might see that there's railroad tracks that run right past where your campsite's going to be, or where you can see that there are some woods on one side, but the rest of it is more like a parking lot. Or you might see the ideal parking space, and you can ask for that space specifically when you call to make your reservation or to say you're arriving that night. Use Google Maps, not just to get from here to there, but to take a first-hand look from the air at the park where you're going to be staying. I've got to confess, tip number 6 is a little bit of shameless self-promotion. But before you head out to rent an RV for a vacation, if you want to know more about how to make sure you get the best RV for you and your family at the best price, if you want to avoid getting overcharged for things like using the generator or renting linens that they provide for you, or pots and pans as an additional cost that you're surprised by when you go to pick up your RV, if you want to know how to plan a route where you're sure you're not going to hit a bridge that's too low and you get stuck in the middle of nowhere, if you'd like to find out how to drive such a big vehicle, and if you'd like access to a bunch of checklists that you can download and carry with you. It just so happens that I wrote the book on it, The Complete Guide to Renting an RV. This book's inexpensive. It's available only from Amazon. You can get the Kindle edition, you can get the print edition, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can have it as a free download. That's right, free. How do you beat that? I realized after the first few times that we rented RVs that there was no one place that I could get all of the information I wanted at the same time. And that's why I wrote the book. And I think that it might be helpful to you too. So check it out. And if you think that you're going to like it, thank you in advance for picking up a copy and taking it home. Well, those are my top 6 tips for renting an RV. We've had such fun renting RVs that my wife and I finally bought an RV. And we're about to head out on a 5-month RV adventure. I hope you'll follow us on that trip also. If you found this video helpful, or if you'd like to follow along in our adventures, please click subscribe down below. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. And you can also check out our written blog at www.milesandsmiles.us, not .com, .us. Remember, life's a journey. Make every mile count.